So, I actually typed this talk out, which never happens. Because I thought, well, I want to make sure I can read everything, but my printer is running out of ink, so I can't read the entire bottom part of the pages I printed, so I'll still probably get lost. The first thing I want to do today is to show you guys. So, today's talk is going to kind of continue some of our social networking talks that we have been giving, or that we've given a couple over the last semester. And I think last time I talked about how things that you put on the internet are permanent and will stick around. Just as an example of this, I wanted to show you this ridiculous blog that I created. And I created this blog 10, almost maybe 11 years ago, when I was a freshman in college and blogs were brand new. And you can see they actually tried to charge for blogs at the beginning, and you got like a 30-day trial, and then they were like, we're going to charge you money now, and nobody pays. They were like, we were kidding, we'll leave it up forever. And Corey and I, before we moved to college, we actually lived in a house that he and I, my grandfather died, my grandfather passed away, and we moved into the house to kind of get it. Really, we claimed we were fixing it up. Mostly, we just wanted to live without parents, and it was called the Shanty. And so when we moved to college,
I haven't seen this in 11 years.
This is awesome. It's truly awful. Like I was reading, I was like, I don't want to share this, but that's why I'm sharing it, because it's embarrassing and stupid. So we've got this is really mostly me. Corey was way too cool for this, but the Shanty Men. You can see that I talked about our band called His Ears, which is no longer called His Ears. We're now the Composers. Composers being all in caps. It's way cooler. I didn't have a band because I don't even know how to play the mandolin. And it was stupid. And that was the only post that we ever put up. So things stay. Things stick around on the internet. And when you search John Krager, this still comes up. Embarrassing. I didn't get a job this week, and I think this may be why. I think they stumbled upon this, and they were like, we don't want this man in our office. Anyway.
You should delete it.
I can't, I don't remember the password. And there's no way, I don't know, someday Zanga will die and it will go away.
I want it to die.
It's quite embarrassing. Click on the profile just real quick, and then we'll move on. So... Here we go.
Can I still read that?
We asked. Whoa. That's weird.
I want to be able to read it, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I complained about moving into the dorms, which was stupid, and then I went with the band thing again, which is so weird because we never were in a band. Like that's just dumb. Anyway. So there you go. Stupid. We also got some weird comments on there, which I'm not going to have to show, but they were just, people are weird. The internet is weird, stay away from it. And that's the point of today's talk.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to start off with that. Today's talk is actually a two-parter, and I'm going to be cramming it in, so pay attention. Don't go to sleep. If I see you sleeping, I'll throw stuff at you. But it's a two-parter. It starts off, and I'm going to be focusing a lot on something that I find very evil and dangerous and scary about social networking. And then I'm going to go into something that I find wonderful about social networking, and on the positive. A couple weeks ago when I spoke on social networking, I talked a lot about your behavior on Twitter and Facebook and all of these things, what you were putting out there. And it was kind of, I was calling you out and saying, don't put these negative things out there on Twitter. Don't put your anger out there. Don't pick fights on Twitter and Facebook and all that. And I hope that has been something that maybe you stopped doing, because it is still just dumb and needs to stop. And so what today was going to be focused on originally was, okay, so if you can't do all that on Twitter and Facebook and in text and all that, then what should you be putting out there? And we'll talk about that at the end. But the last couple of weeks have been, my heart has just been really heavy as I have been reading the news and looking in the news, and there's a trend that is going on in our national persona, and it's focused right now greatly on high schoolers. And so that was when I decided I was going to expand this talk into a two-parter. And so what I'm going to talk about in the beginning is what I think, like I said, is one of the greatest evils of social networking, and one of the ways that I truly think social networking is being used to destroy people. And it's wrong, and so we're going to talk about it. So I just want to start off by saying, you're going to hear again and again and again in talks throughout your life, but especially while you're in high school, about being smart, guarding your hearts and your bodies, and avoiding situations that lead to trouble. And that's what this talk is about. This beginning part of the talk is about. And so I want to acknowledge that yes, you've heard a lot of these talks, and then so you may be thinking, I don't need to hear this, but you do, and I want you to listen. So stay with me. So while I recognize all that, I also recognize that sometime, somewhere, one of you or a multitude of you are going to make a mistake. You're going to go to a party and you're going to get drunk. Or maybe you're going to go to a party and you're going to take some pills. When I was in high school, they literally, like, you would go to a party and there would just be pills. Not like just everywhere, but the people would hand out bowls with pills, and ecstasy was huge in my high school and things like that. So and I don't know. I don't go to high school parties anymore, and I don't know what's going on there, but I imagine there's still some of the similar stuff. So you might go and you might take some pills that mess with your head. You'll go and somebody will mess with your food or your drink. These are realities, I think, in your life, and these are things that I would obviously I don't just say I pray against, like, oh gee, I hope it never happens. I mean literally. Myself and Kristen and Corey and Chris and your leaders, we pray against these things happening to you. We pray against predators taking advantage of you, against your own foolishness leading to you being put in compromising situations. And it's something that I do speak out against. Don't go and do these foolish things. But I recognize that sometimes they happen and that sometimes mistakes are made. And I want you to know that you're not alone. Like, this isn't something that it's like, oh, you crazy high schoolers, you make mistakes. But we never have. I made mistakes in high school. Corey and Kristen and Mitch and Christopher and Gallion, and I don't think Rachel Beal ever did, but everyone else did. But here's the difference between when you guys had these incidents happen and when I did. When I was an idiot in high school, basically the only way that people were going to find out about it was by word of mouth. Somebody was going to talk about what John did at a party. Somebody was going to talk about this stupid thing that happened with John. Nowadays, each and every one of your friends carries with them a video camera and a still shoot camera, and each and every one of your friends can load all of those images that they get onto the internet in seconds before they even have time to think about, is this a good decision or a bad decision. Everybody around you can take advantage of your mistakes and can publish them before you ever have a chance to stop it. And to me, I mean, my heart just breaks for you. People make mistakes, and you should be allowed to make mistakes and learn from them and grow. But you guys are growing up in a world that is going to be extremely harsh on you when you make mistakes, because those mistakes are going to be published to the world immediately. 2 weeks ago, a young woman who had been sexually assaulted at a party hung herself. She had lived for a year with images of what had happened during the alleged assault, passed around to people in her school. She had been ostracized because of it. She felt that she had no options. The police never did take any action. They're actually starting to now. But for a year, she battled against what had happened one night when she got drunk and passed out, and an assault occurred. Pictures were taken. 2 weeks ago, last week, a group of teenage boys, there were 3 teenage boys who were arrested on wrongful death charges because they had assaulted a girl who had passed out at a party. Back in September, a week after the assault occurred and the girl found out that there were pictures being passed around, she killed herself. And now these boys are up on charges. And then, of course, I don't know if you guys have been following or heard, but the Steubenville rape case, which was all about a girl who went to a party, got drunk. Not only was she assaulted, but there were dozens of witnesses who saw what was going on and chose not to do anything, or chose to take pictures and laugh and leave the girl there. Guy and girl left this girl here to be assaulted. There are videos of her being dragged around, all sorts of horrible things. And the students' excuses when they were asked why you didn't do anything was because no one else was, because I didn't think it was a big deal. because I didn't know what to do. And it was that I didn't know what to do that I think prompted this talk. Because I'm going to tell you what I absolutely think you should do. So I didn't tell you guys these because I wanted to scare you or depress you or shock you. I told you guys these because it's a reality. I told you guys these because this is the reality of the world that you are living in. And I think that we as your leaders do you a disservice if we don't address it and give you the tools to take it on. Because you do have the tools to take it on. You're not helpless and hopeless in this social networking world. So my heart aches for you guys because you are growing up in a world that is throwing you into a paradox of it tells you one thing and then it expects another. So this world is telling you, and you're hearing from your parents and your leaders and even some of your friends, don't have sex. Don't let yourself be taken advantage of. Don't hurt others. Guard yourself and be careful about that. But at the exact same time, this world is telling you, do quickly, grow up fast. And one of the best ways to show that you are growing up fast is to show off your sexuality. Share yourself completely with the world. Share yourself, your thoughts, share your body, share your soul. Bare yourself to the world because that's how the world will best interact with you. And the world is also saying, let others objectify you because that's how you are going to know your worth. Until you let someone else tell you your worth, you don't know. So let others make you an object and then they'll inform you what you're worth. And right now, before going any further, I'm going to address these lies. And I'm just going to say that those last three that I had talked about are lies. The world will shove them at you every day for the rest of your life. That doesn't make them true. A lie spoken 1,000 times is still a lie. Your beauty, and this is not just to the girls, this is the girls and guys. Your beauty, your competence, and your worth are not tied up in what you share with the world. Who you are and how much you are worth is not tied up with how much you can give the world and receive back in what they think you're worth. You're not even truly judged by the world. So get ready, here comes the church answer. Your worth is wrapped up in God. And I'm not saying that because it's Sunday morning and Corey says I have to talk about God every time. I'm saying that because it's absolutely true. I'm saying that because each and every one of you were fearfully and wonderfully made. Each and every one of you are precious. And each and every one of you are absolutely worth more than anyone on this planet is ever going to be able to tell you, including those who love you and who don't judge you for your objectified worth. I can sit here and tell you that I think each and every one of you is wonderful and amazing. Corey and Susan and your parents and everyone can tell you, we love you so very much and you are worth more than anyone could ever tell you. And still, we're missing the mark of how awesome and amazing you are. God is the only one who's ever going to put that worth in your life. And that's something that you're just going to have to believe. And I can't make you believe it, but I can just say believe it, believe it, believe it. The only place you are going to get your worth is in Christ. So all of these things that are telling you that you need to share everything you have with the world, they're lies. And you have to avoid it, and you have to fight back. So why am I harping on this? Why is this tied into a social media talk? Why am I talking about self-worth when I'm supposed to be talking about Twitter? The fact is that you can tonight, that whatever you do tonight can easily be tweeted, Facebooked, sent out on Vine videos, which I just discovered like 2 months ago. They're weird. Everything you do can be sent out instantly. And as I've shown, there's a permanence to it. Even Snapchat, which claims to be only whatever seconds you decide can be shared and then it disappears forever. It doesn't disappear forever. I can take your phone and I can plug it in and I can search into the files of your phone and every Snapchat that you've received or sent, I can dig up. I can put on my computer. So somebody can grab your phone and they can send it out to the world. It's a lie. And it's not hard. I did 3 minutes worth of research and I can now do it. So know that that's a lie, and that's a dangerous lie. So the obvious answer here is don't do it. Don't send pictures of yourself out there that you don't want shared with the world. Don't do stupid things that might get you arrested or embarrassed later. Don't put yourselves in situations where you can be taken advantage of. Take responsibility for who you are and for protecting yourself. And take responsibility for your friends and your brothers and sisters in Christ. Take responsibility for those around you. And if you know that someone is sending pictures or is doing stupid things and their friends are videotaping it because they think it's awesome, tell them to stop and be brave in telling them to stop. Look out for each other, encourage each other, protect each other. Again, I did incredibly stupid things when I was a kid, including I had a friend who had a back injury. I actually wasn't there for this part, but he had a back injury, he took a lot of pain medication, and we ran him over with a car to see how much pain he could take. Nowadays, we would have recorded it, put it on the internet, and we all would have been charged with assault. Instead, he just is kind of a little off. He's a great guy. I just wanted to laugh, y'all. But it's true. The stupid things that I did, we didn't record. And our parents would ask us, and we would get embarrassed and get yelled at, but it wasn't, the consequences weren't nearly as high. So, don't do it. Don't walk down that line. Don't even participate in these things. But the fact is, I know that sometimes it's going to happen. Sometimes poor choices are going to be made, and either you're going to make the poor choice or someone around you is going to make a poor choice that involves you. And this, guys, is where my heart just absolutely breaks. This is where I want to go every place that you go and just stand there and just glare at everyone who's ever going to take advantage of you. And just cross my arms and be like, I will kill you if you mess with this person. But I can't, because that would be just equally as creepy. And so, instead, I'm going to try to equip you all to handle your world and ask that you all take up the arms. So, if something happens where all of a sudden there's a picture of you out there, a night goes wrong, and you know that in the social networking world there's pictures of you in compromising positions, there's pictures of you being stupid, maybe even there's pictures of an assault of you, and again, I know for 99% of you this is a weird talk, but I'm telling you, it happens. It's been happening more and more and more, and so I want you ready. If something like that occurs, folks, this is not a fight to be fought alone. These girls that committed suicide, whether last week or the week before or a year ago, they believed that they were going through this battle alone and that they couldn't, even when they tried to share some of their issues, they still felt that the girl who a week after she was assaulted committed suicide, her parents didn't even know about it until after she had done it. Because she felt she had to fight this battle alone. And I'm telling you right now, you absolutely do not, and in fact you cannot fight this battle alone. When social media gets ugly, whether you're being bullied, harassed, whether there are pictures floating around, this is not a time, and here's your high school English says, this is not a time where you are going to be marked with a scarlet letter and pushed outside and no one will ever talk to you again. It feels like that, but it's not true. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you is when things like this occur, you go to your parents. And I know for some of you it's like, no, I'll never go to my parents. But the fact is you have to go to your parents. You have to go to someone who can actually handle this. And if you think, you know what, I can't go to my parents and tell them that I got drunk on Saturday night and these weird and scary things happened to me, then you need, if you're a girl, you need to go tell Kristen or Suze or Rachel or Hannah or Sydney or Georgianne, Shannon or Brenda. You need to tell them and share with them and let them know this is what occurred. And I got really great news for you, but news for you, they're going to tell your parents and they're going to get them involved. This is not a, oh, you tell us and we'll keep it quiet. Because we're going to bring the troops in, folks. We're going to save you. We're going to stand by you. We're going to bring the full power of everything that we've got to stop and protect you. And that's the lie that is coming into your life, is that this needs to be handled quietly and no one need know. And it'll just eat away at you and it'll destroy you. So tell someone. Guys, tell Corey, tell me, tell Chris, tell Gallion, Eric, Doug, or Jason. Same disclaimer applies. We're not going to keep it to ourselves. But I want you to know that you're not alone and that you have to share and that you have to let people come in who love you unconditionally, who are not going to now start looking at you and going, well, you're the evil one, but are going to stand by you and fight for you. Confront the issue as it needs to be confronted. Again, this means you're gonna have to tell people. You're gonna have to get authorities involved. It may be an issue that actually needs real authority involved. And I'll tell you right now, confronting it does not make it suddenly go away. Confronting it does not make all the issues that are going to come from it go away. But it empowers you in a place that you were not empowered before. And you have to take it on. And you have to let people come around you and do what needs to be done. And this one here that I'm going to say next is one that probably should have gone first, but I wanted to get the practicalities in there. But pray and seek the Lord's wisdom in what you need to do. And this is not the campy, let's all sit around and hold hands and sing Kumbaya prayer. This is the truly going before the Lord and laying your burdens down. This is what Jesus was talking about when he said, lay your burdens down. He doesn't just want to help you pass tests. He doesn't want to just help you make the little decisions in life, but then you should wrestle through the big, hard, scary stuff. He wants you to come to him and say, Jesus, I was stupid on Saturday. Now there's pictures of me being passed around. People are pointing and laughing at me. People are saying things about me. Guys are looking at me. Girls are looking at me. And I don't know what to do and I'm terrified. That's what Jesus wants to hear. And that's what he can help comfort you and guide you through. Christ knows your pains. He knows what you're walking through. And I know that for some of you it's like, no, that wouldn't do anything. But I guarantee you, this is me standing up here putting all of my reputation as a truth teller on the line. I guarantee you, if you will go to Christ and you will lay it before him, that he will comfort you and stand by you. It's what he wants to do. It's what he freaking came to do. So do it. And finally, know that when a situation like this occurs, life goes on. That right now, as these things are being passed around and as you're dealing, whether it's compromising pictures or you took a video of you breaking in somewhere and now the police are knocking at your door, yeah, that's trouble, and that's gonna suck for a while. But life goes on, and you have not ruined your life completely, and you have not ruined your reputation completely. And those who love you are gonna stand by you, and we're gonna walk through it with you. Okay. So now I want to deal with something that I think the majority of you are actually going to deal with. Because I really think you guys are wonderful, and I know the mistakes are going to be made, but I really don't think that for the majority here, this is going to be an issue with that side. But here's what I think the majority of you might deal with. And that's what happens when this happens to someone else that you know. That what happens when it's someone in your high school, when it's someone in this youth group that's not you. And the fact is, there are reactions that need to be had, and there are ways that you need to handle it. So, we'll talk to the guys first. And really this goes for guys and girls, but I'm going to talk. If you come upon a situation where something is going on that is hurting another person, stop it. Step in and stop it. If it's too dangerous for you to stop it, find someone who will stop it. Guys, if you come upon a girl who is too drunk or high or she's passed out and others are doing things with her or are forcing her to make poor choices, this is a time when it is time for you to step up and protect. Real men step in and fight for those who can't fight for themselves. Little boys take advantage of the situation because they are never going to be in a situation where a woman will really interact with them. But men step in and protect and do the right thing. They protect honor. They become a hero. So step in and do the right thing. If you see someone at a party who is passed out, who is in trouble, stop the situation. Pick them up and carry them out of there. Get your other friends to pick them up and carry them out of there. If it's dangerous and you can't, call the police. Bring in the correct authorities. If your friends are being stupid and they want to do something that you're like, I think this might actually be a bad decision. One of us is going to get hurt or we might end up going, stop it. Speak up. Don't be the guy who leaves someone in a bad situation, who leaves the girl in the room, who leaves his friends to hit their friend with a car because you didn't know what else to do. Don't be that person. Because I will tell you, being the guy who did just kind of let his friends do whatever they want, you feel guilty for a long, long time. And in my friend's situation, it didn't affect his life really, but it could have. and in so many situations, your friends are going to be affected. Girls, protect your friends. If you see a girl at a party who's out of her mind, who's passed out, who's in trouble, freaking step in and stop it. The Steubenville case, there were so many girls who were just like, I saw her, but I thought she gets what she deserves. She doesn't get what she deserves, folks. Step in and stop it. And if it's dangerous, if you feel like there's a bunch of guys there, I don't want to step in. Find a guy, find an authority, call the cops. Do the right thing. Once again, any embarrassment or fear you have of stepping in and being that girl is completely minimal to what you will feel for the rest of your life knowing that you left a girl in a situation because you said, this is not my problem, I'll let someone else handle it. Step up, because it is your problem. So what do you do when it's after the fact? When you weren't at the party, but now there's a guy, there's a guy who wants to send you pictures of a girl that they took pictures of at a party, who was passed out, and they took off her shirt, and they took a bunch of pictures of her. You know what? You say no. You say, don't send it to me. If they send it to you, you delete it. If it's of someone your age, you go to the authorities and you tell them. And yeah, there are going to be people who are like, you're not cool because you turned us in. And you're going to be like, I'm a real man. That's why I turned you in. So freaking do it. If you're getting pictures that are one, you should know. You just need to know. And this is coming from the young budding lawyer. But you need to know that you having that picture on your phone is illegal, and that you will go to jail. And that at some point this thing is going to get busted up, and you are going to end up in an investigation where they say, we're going to track everyone this guy sent these pictures to, and they're going to come knock on your door and they're going to say, do you have this girl's pictures on your phone? And if you deleted them, they can still find them, folks. Nothing is ever gone on your computer. It's just not. Stop believing it. It's a lie. So don't put yourself in a situation where you're scared because you have those pictures or you've been receiving those pictures and now there's a bust and now you don't know what to do. And now we got to go back to that page before and you got to tell your parents, we got to walk through. Don't do it. When the pictures come to you, take them to the right authority. When you know that someone has been taken advantage of, do the right thing. Stand by the guy or girl. Again, this is not just on the sexual abuse basis. This is on the guys and girls who do stupid things. They get themselves in trouble. So after the picture's been sent, you denied it. Don't abandon the person who is now dealing with their poor choices. Don't let them be isolated and alone. Stand by your brothers and again, walk through this with them. Don't ostracize them. And girls, when these girls that I talked about earlier, especially the two that committed suicide, the reason they committed suicide was because they felt so unlovable and so unloved that they truly did not think anybody was ever going to love them or care about them again. And in a situation like that, guys befriending them really isn't going to be all that helpful. It's not going to be, a guy with good intentions is not going to hurt them, but what they need to know is that they have not marked themselves forever as the girl who is the slut and the girl who will never be loved again. Befriend them. Stand by them. Do not shun them and make them sit alone at a table because of a decision they made or a decision they didn't make because they were drunk. I'm not asking you to put yourself in danger. I'm not asking you to get involved with dangerous people or do dangerous things. I am asking you to do what Jesus said and to love the unlovable. And to put your reputation on the line to love someone more than you love your reputation. And that's hard, and you'll have to. It's going to be you'll have to navigate those waters carefully, because society is going to put pressure on you not to. But I am telling you that Jesus is calling you to love her. And if you're in those situations where you're like, I want to love this girl, but I don't know how, go talk to Kristen, talk to Sydney, talk to people who can walk through it with you and help you learn to love in a safe and good way. But literally, for the love of God, love these people. So yeah, this is a tough talk, and this is not one that I actually really wanted to give. But as I just kept reading about it, my heart broke for the situation that I know you guys are growing up in, and it's not good. So if you have questions, or if this didn't cover everything, or you think, man, I might be in a situation like this, or I might see a situation like this, I'm going to move on to the other part now. But this is not a talk that just I want to just swept under the rug and we'll never think about it again. If you have questions, if you want to go in deeper, talk to Corey and Kristen and myself.